Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today I thought I'd try something a little bit different. I'm going to be doing a budgeting video. I am currently a university student in the UK, which means I get student finance. And when I was looking on YouTube to find something about budgeting those 3 payments a year, I couldn't really find anything, so I thought I'd give it a go. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to be using a mixture of methods, but I am going to be using the cash envelope and sinking fund method, which you'll see later on. I don't have any fancy planner to use, so I'm just going to be using a plain old notepad. I've got some pens and a highlighter, and then in here I've got some cash envelopes that I made myself. So let's get going. Okay, so I am a little bit nervous filming this video because I see a lot of people doing videos about their budgeting and they all seem so put together and professional, and I'm a little bit nervous that this isn't going to be the same, but we'll just get started and see what happens. So the first thing I'm going to write down is my income. This is any money that I'm going to be getting for this period that I'm budgeting for. And for me there'll be 3 things. The first thing is my student finance payment. The second thing is a bursary that I will get from my university directly, because I am from a low income household, that's how they put it. Sorry, I had to cut then, someone came to the front door. Where was I? The third payment I'll be getting is actually some furlough pay. Now, when I'm at university, I have a part-time job as a casual worker on campus. And because I'm classed as casual, I didn't think I'd get sort of furlough or anything like that. But it turns out I will, and they're actually going to backdate it. So that's the third thing that I'll be getting. For my student finance, the third and final payment of the year is actually bigger than the other 2, so that's nice. My bursary amount is £660. Sorry, my student finance is £3,040 and 96 pence, and my bursary is £660. And then my furlough pay, because they are going to backdate it for a couple of weeks, is £115. So that's my income, and let's total that up. Use my phone as a calculator. So the total will be 30, 40, 96 plus 660 plus 115, and that equals 3,815 pounds and 96 pence. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down my outgoings that I've got, my regular things that I pay every month. What I should say actually is that this payment I'm getting in May has got to last me for May, June, July, August and September, because my first payment of next year will come in the first couple of days of October. So that means that rent, I've got one payment of £390 left for the house that I'm currently in, and then 4 payments of £320 for the house that I'm moving into for the next year, and that total together is £1,670. Next is some bills. The house that I'm currently in, the bills and the rent are combined into one payment, whereas next year this house that I'm paying £320 a month in rent, that's separate from bills. So I've actually got 4 bills of, I'm estimating £25, but I don't know exactly what that will be, so yeah, that's just an estimate. It might be more, it might be less, but I don't know until I move in. Then I'm gonna label this one Mum, but what it actually is contributing to food shopping whilst I'm at home over the summer. I'll just give my mum sort of like £20 a week just to bump up because she's having to pay more for shopping because I'm at home, so that'll give her a bit of an extra monetary amount to pay for it. And I worked it out, there's 22 weeks until I go back to university, so that's 22 times 20, which is £440. Now I don't know whether she'll want that as £20 a week or a lump sum of 440, so I'm just going to leave that in my bank and do what she wants with it. Next is my phone bill. I have a Galaxy S9. When I went to get a new phone at the end of my last contract, I was given the option of having the latest up-to-date phone for a higher price or stick with a less recent phone and pay less for it. So that's the option I went with. So I get unlimited text, unlimited minutes and 5 gig of data for just £24 a month. And I'm actually going to include October's in that, just to be on the safe side, because I don't know when the student finance will come in, so I want to make sure that I've got it there in case the bill happens before my October payment comes in. So that's £144. And last but not least, for my outgoings, I'm going to include a back to uni payment. For this, I'm going to put in £60, and that will cover the petrol money for my mum taking me back to uni in the autumn, and the first bit of shopping just to get me settled in. So the total for all of this is £2,414.0. And now remaining I have, let's get my calculator back out. So 3,815.96 minus that 2,414, that means that I have £1,401.96 left for savings. So that will be my next category. The first thing that I'll be using as savings is, for the past year, since the 1st of January, I've been challenging myself to save £10 a week and just set it aside, not for anything in particular, but just take £10 out of my bank account, withdraw it from a cash point and put it somewhere safe, just to kind of like the start of an emergency fund. So weekly amount, because of the 22 weeks until I go back to university and it's £10 a week, that will cost me £220. The next one is I set up a help to buy ISA just before the deadline. When everyone was going crazy about setting one up, I did the same. And the maximum amount you can put in a month is £200. I obviously don't have £200 a month spare to put into an ISA, so what I do instead is whenever I get a student finance payment, I set aside £200 out of the student finance and £100 out of my bursary, so £300 total, so I'll have to split it over 2 months to put it in, but £300 total into my ISA, and that's really the only time I ever contribute to it. So it sounds like a lot, but it doesn't really accumulate that quickly, but it's better than nothing. So ISA gets 300. Next is Christmas. This is a sinking fund that I've got, so I'm just setting aside a small amount every now and again so that when it gets to Christmas I've got a bit of a buffer, a cushion amount to spend without having to use like my overdraft or something like that. So for Christmas I'm going to put in £75. Then we've got birthdays, which gets 80. Vets fund. This is because I have a family pet. We have a family pet. Well, we actually have several family pets, but one in particular is at some point going to need some dentist work doing. And although he is insured, the amount that we will have to pay is going to be quite substantial, I think. So I am starting to save little bits so that when it comes to it, I can contribute to it because he is a family pet, so I should contribute. So I'm just going to put £20 into that for now. Total that up is £220 plus 300 plus 75 plus 80 plus 20. Oh, I've missed one. Oh no. Oh, what to do. I don't have any white out on me. Never mind. Let's put it here. It won't look as nice, but oh well. I'm also going to save a little bit for back to uni, and this is going to be different to this back to uni. This is, I'm going to give this to my mum for like petrol costs and things like that. This is going to be for me specifically once my mum's gone, once I'm on my own and I'm going to have to do my first bit of shopping before my next payment comes in. I'll need some money for that, so I'm going to set aside £50 for that as well. And I'm also going to include in this my first weekly payment into my savings here. This doesn't include this week, so here I am just going to put in a £10 there as well. So let's total those up. 220 plus 300 plus 75 plus 80 plus 20 plus 50 plus 10. So altogether that is £755. Now my last category I'm going to be accounting for is the big scary word, debt. Now I don't have any traditional sort of debt as in credit cards or anything like that, but I am currently in my overdraft and I am counting that as debt because obviously it's money that isn't mine. So I do want to pay off everything in my overdraft, and that is currently sitting at a whopping £618. So, but that is all of my debt. So that is a total 618. And so, remaining in my bank account will be this remaining value of £1,401.96 minus my savings, 755, minus this overdraft, 618. So in my bank account I will have left £28.96. This will act as a nice little cushion for any unexpected payments or expenses that I have, so that I don't end up using my overdraft again, because that would be kind of defeating the object. You may be thinking, well, that's all well and good, where are you going to get any spending money from if you want to buy something? Well, that's going to come from here, this furlough pay. This £115 is the backdated amount. However, I am also going to get it for the next month-ish. So that is the backdated amount, but there will actually be some coming into my account at a weekly amount of about £20 a week. That's roughly about what it will be, I think. So that just means that once that comes in, I'll allocate that money for me to spend on whatever I want to spend it on, really. So that's what I've got down as my budget on paper. I'm going to go withdraw the money from the post office. Obviously I can't go to a bank because, well, they're all shut. So I'm going to go to my local post office instead, and then after that we will go and stuff some cash envelopes. Okay, so I've withdrawn the money, I've got it in here, so let's get it out and organise it along with my cash envelopes. Okay, so I have one £5 note, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 £10 notes, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 £20 notes. I have my cash envelopes here, so let's get started. My weekly savings envelope is slightly different. I made this before I started watching any YouTube videos about budgeting, so I made it before I saw the sort of common type, and I made it like an actual envelope. I quite like it because it sets it aside from my other envelopes. So this is going to get £10, so one of those. So that's that one done. So now that I've got my weekly savings out of the way, This week, that was that £10 there. This weekly and this ISA, they're staying in my bank account because that's going to be transferred to my ISA account, obviously. And this, as I said earlier, I take out £10 a week, so that needs to stay in there. So the cash that I took out was for Christmas, birthdays, Vets Fund, back to uni and weekly, which altogether is £235, which is what I've got. So Christmas is up next. Now I am going to do a shameless plug here. These cash envelopes I did make myself. Can you see? Oh, you can tell I'm not a professional at this, blimey. They're just the usual type of envelope. They're made with really thick cardstock. I laminated them twice and then I hole punched them to fit my planner, and then I stuck the label on. This is one set of 6 that I've got, and then I actually have an Etsy shop. My Etsy shop is called Georgia Giraffe 99, and on it I have lots of different sets of envelopes. So I've got this black and... that was my phone vibrating, sorry. I've got this black and white set. I've got this black and gold set, and the camera is really not picking up how foiled these are, is it? Let's see if I can show you with this one with the contrast of the black. Can you see? They're super foiled, they're really pretty. I've got a matte blue set. And a foiled blue set, which again, don't know if, yeah, you can see there, look. They're really foiled, they're really pretty. This is one of my favourite envelopes out of all of them, out of all the sets. I just think the way it shines in the light is really nice. I almost used this set for my own, but then I thought, no, I'll go neutral for the black and white. There's a rainbow patterned set. Nearly dropped it. And a glittery set. And with all of those sets, they come either with this extra bit of lamination here so that they can be hole punched to fit into a planner, or they come like this where it's just the envelope itself so that it's more sleek and fits into a wallet. Now that that's done with, we'll move on to actually stuffing my envelopes. So for Christmas, oops, I'm adding £75, so 20, 40, 60, 70 and 5. Yep. Oh, I should mention, these envelopes fit all UK polymer notes, the new notes, US bills and Euro bills. So Christmas is done. Birthdays is up next, and birthdays is getting 80. So 20, 40, 60, 80. And I already have a little bit of money started, so I already had £50 in there, so now I've got 20, 40, 60, 80, 120, 130. And I have quite a few birthdays during the period of this student finance payment, so having that will really help. Next is Vets Fund, and that's going to get a 20, except I'm going to do it in 2 10s, I think. So 10, 20. Put that in there. Car savings this time, I'm not putting anything in it. This is money that I've had for a long time. This is actually money that I got on my 17th birthday to put towards driving lessons, except I never actually ended up using it, so I'm just saving it up. There's currently, I think, £70 in here. 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, yeah. There's £70 in there. And I do intend on adding to it at some point, but just not now because it's not really priority. And then this is my last one that I'll be stuffing today. This is my back to uni envelope. There's currently nothing in it, and it's getting 50, and if I've done this right, there should be 50 left. Let's have a look. 20, 40, 50. Perfect. That's what we like to see. So put that in there. This is a spare envelope from the set because the sets are of 6 and I only needed 5, so this is just a spare one. I'm sure at some point I'll think of something to use it for, but for now it's just empty. So let's put those back into my planner. Put that one there. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to fill out these trackers that I made. So the date today is the 5th of May, so of the 5th, and Christmas I added, starting balance of 0, I added 75. So my total is now £75. Birthdays, I had a starting balance of 50 and I added 80. Forgot to put the plus there. Vets Fund, I had a starting balance of 0 and I added 20. So now I've got a total of £20. Car savings, I had car savings I had 70, but I haven't had anything to it. And last but not least is back to uni, which had a starting balance of 0, but I added £50. So there's now £50 in there. Oh, come on. There we go. So put those back in my planner along with these envelopes. And that's that. That's my student finance budget for being a uni student in the UK. I hope this was helpful, I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you did. I'd love to hear some feedback or some suggestions of how I could improve in the comments. That'd be really helpful. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!